Wendy, Corinne, how's your week?
It's going pretty good so far.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we've got lots of little jobs done. We've been pottering about. We were left a little list of suggestive jobs, weren't we? But we've done most of those. But yeah, it's been really good, hasn't it?
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
We've been very lucky with the weather as well. So
Yeah,
far,
it might
which
change
helps.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what brought you here? Can you tell me, did you have to apply?
I think initially I spotted something on Twitter from an old colleague who's been involved, and we initially applied to volunteer to help build it.
Yeah.
We hadn't considered actually coming to stay in it, although the applications for that were open, but when we came to the site and we helped to build the deck that the dome sits on and the first few triangles, and once we'd seen the site and everything, we thought it would be lovely to stay
Yeah, it was
here.
such a lovely bunch of people as well, and the artists were really friendly. It just felt, I don't know, you wanted more. We've been and helped and spent that weekend working, but we just sort of, no, we want to be a bit more part of this, didn't we? So that's...
They kept the application process open for a little bit longer to allow the people who'd volunteered to apply.
Oh, lovely, yes.
I think they got about 160 applications for about 40 slots.
Yeah, we
Ready?
didn't think we'd get one really, did we?
No,
Thought, because when you sort of said, shall we go for it? And I thought, why not? You know, you've got to do these things in life. So we just went, and then we knew they were going to be sorting out the one weekend, and then we were just sort of waiting. It was a couple of days, wasn't it? I think the email had gone somewhere it shouldn't have. And then when it came through, we couldn't believe we got a week, especially in May.
Yeah, because we could have got a week in December. We said pretty much most of the weeks we'd be able to do. There were a few weeks when we'd got
we
other
were quite
commitments
flexible.
we couldn't do. We thought the more flexible we leave it, the better chance. So.
Great stuff. And your visitors, sorry, I'm interrupting. Your visitors, have they embraced what you're doing and riddled you with questions?
I feel like people have been generally positive, haven't they? 'Cause
Yes.
Yeah.
the worry could be that people could come down and say, oh, I don't believe in climate change. We haven't had a climate change disbeliever so far.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Some people have asked some slightly challenging questions, haven't they? But overall, people have been genuinely interested in the project, and surprisingly, people have seemed a little sad about the idea that the dome will go after the 3 years when the planning permission runs out. I thought some people would be. It's quite a shocking thing in a historic landscape. A huge dome covered in metal.
I must admit, it's pretty brave for Compton Verney to put this over here, but it's undoubtedly been a success. And
Yeah, it seems to have been very positively received, doesn't it? Most people who've come down have been genuinely interested, and
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they've asked some really interesting questions, and it's because obviously it's very idyllic, it's beautiful surrounding, but in reality it wouldn't really be like this. If we got to this, you'd be fighting your borders, you wouldn't be getting the sleep because you'd be having someone trying to come in and take your crops and take your livestock. So it's, but I think that was the point of it really. It was just, the artists wanted to sort of build this and people to start to think about it. Yes, it is beautiful, but what if everything goes? It's not going to be like, but we're going to need to survive, and that's what people are coming. They're looking at the workshops and they're like, oh, I wouldn't know how to start a fire, and it really takes everybody back to the basics and what you need, and people start to think, well, I don't think I would survive because I don't know how to do that. So it's I think it's quite thought-provoking, isn't it?
It's stimulating the right sort of conversations as well, isn't it? People are coming down, and it's thought-provoking. It's making people think.
Yeah, and it's doing.
So 3 months hence, when you get back home,
We're only
think
here
back.
for this week.
Well, I know,
so...
but 3 months, in 3 months' time, and you look back, what will immediately come to mind as the really great memories of your week spending here?
I think it's the wildlife for us, isn't it? Because we're interested in wildlife
I hear you've
anywhere.
got a friendly rat, is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Apparently he's been here since the first week.
Yeah,
the first people were dubbed him Buckminster after the inventor of the geodesic dome.
Yeah.
He's been scratching around under the floor in the insulation. As long as he stays under there, we're not too
we got to
worried.
see him yesterday, and we saw him last night as well, didn't we?
He did pop
sitting
out
on the
last
deck.
night. He looked a bit less
out.
dishevelled and worried than he did when we saw him yesterday.
But beyond him, you've got constant companions on the lake, haven't you?
Yeah. We've been watching the two families of grebes. Sort of, they've got the boundary just here, and they sort of go, and the two males are sort of showing off. But in all obviously the grey-lag geese are really quite noisy through the evening and the early morning, aren't they? And we've got the swan. We're watching the bats as well, which is just amazing. It is an absolutely beautiful sight.
Beautiful sight.
Yeah. And to have this to ourselves of an evening, it's just amazing.
So the sights in 3 months' time, the sights and sounds are going to be the first things perhaps you'll think of to remember your stay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it will be. And of course it's just the job, I don't know, the whole experience. I think the next few weeks we're going to be thinking about, and it's just going to be sinking in what we've done and what it means. And we'll probably, maybe it won't be just the sights, the sounds of the wildlife. You'll be thinking a little bit more about what the project's aiming to do. It just takes a bit of time to process it, I think.
It does make you think more about your use of resources and things as well, because when you've got to carry your water that you need to use, and you've got to carry the rubbish some distance, and in reality it's like, how would we be getting rid of this rubbish?
Yeah.
And you're composting everything, and I think having to be so careful with your resources makes you think more about, at home you just flick the switch on the kettle, you don't have to get up and light a fire when you want a cup of tea, you just turn the tap and there's always water even if you haven't gone and got some. So
and whatever waste you generate, you've got to deal with. It's like, what do we do with this? You can't just put it in the bin. It's like, can we get some use out of that? What can we do with that? You have to rethink everything. And that's, we've sort of come here and, just to make a drink, we've got, like Corinne was just saying, I've got to get the fire going, and just you just have to have more time and think about what you want to do instead of just flicking a switch. And it just makes you think of, how sort of privileged of life we have.
Good memories then.
Oh, fantastic.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Wendy, Corinne, enjoy the rest of your week, and may you have many more memories to take home with you. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.